So that's DJ Target, and I'm still here at the 2013 Bass Music Awards, and I've been joined by a legend, and I do not throw that word around too lightly at all. Andy C's in the building. Not only that, he's the winner of the Ambassador of Bass Music Award. I think we should show this to the camera, Andy. This is like a massive.
Got presented with a beautiful award tonight. Thanks, guys.
This could be the biggest one of the night.
Wow, look at that. Amazing.
Gotta say though,
Truly honoured.
very much deserved, man.
Thanks a lot.
The amount of work you've put in over the last 20 plus years in the bass music scene.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah. It's been a while. I personally myself, you know, growing up and coming to see you DJ, and from then you've been around the world and back, and you've got one of the most powerful labels in this whole scene, and you're doing nights, and it just seems like, what is there left for Andy C to do in the bass music world? You've done it all.
There's so much more. I mean, there's so much more. You know, the energy that drives me is going out every weekend and seeing the crowds, the way they respond to drum and bass, and obviously the way we've seen the explosion over the past 3 or 4 years, you know, with the bass music movement, like you say, and it's reinvigorating.
Yeah.
And new music's come along, and they explode on the scene, and they bring in a whole new generation. And then, you know, if myself or others from the scene are fortunate enough to be playing at the big parties or the festivals, people coming on there checking it out. Wow, this drum and bass, and this is kind of cool, you know.
It is.
And then it gets them in their gut, and it gets the feeling, and then you see the focus come on our scene again, and it goes in cycles.
You're someone who you've seen, you know, you've seen people come and go. You've seen trends come and go. You've seen, you know, all types of drum and bass and jungle and the evolution of the whole sound.
Yeah.
What has kept you at the forefront of this game for so long?
I mean, it's my love for the music, like my love for going out and enjoying the energy of the crowd. You know, we're in a beautiful position with a label where we get sent so much good music, so we get to discover new artists. They get inspired by maybe artists that have gone before, and then they really excel themselves.
Yeah.
And then what happens is that they turn into these big monster artists that you've seen over the past few years. Like, you know, I'm going to go and see Chasing Status on Saturday at the O2.
It's incredible.
Sub's just had his album out, and he's just done a tour. You know, the guys have been on an arena tour. We've had Wilkinson's been in the top 10, and
it's literally unbelievable. Like
well,
the roster
it is
alone,
unbelievable,
the roster alone of Ram Records.
Exactly. So that's why we look back, and you know, we look back, but we look forward more than we look back. You know, because that's what keeps us going. And every time you have a really fantastic period like this, where all the attention's on, and it reinvigorates you, so it always feels like the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, so we don't dwell too much on past success. We're always looking to expand, and we've got a great team in the office. You know, we've got eight people in the office full time, and we really want to promote all the artists as best we can. And
it seems like it's getting done.
Well, you know, they keep coming with like amazing music.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it speaks for itself, the way that we've seen the whole scene grow. The scene's been coming with amazing music, isn't it?
This is true as well, man.
You know, and I've been fortunate this year to go to Asia and tour, and America. I've been in and out of America so many times, and the size of the crowds you're playing to is takes your breath away.
Yeah.
You know?
I can imagine, and you're someone who's been, I would imagine, almost every country that listens to music. Surely, is there anywhere you haven't been? It's still on your bucket list. Is there anywhere?
I'm working on it. I've got a few more stamps to fill.
Okay.
It's like panini stickers.
You definitely have to get the extra page passport and all that.
I like going. You know, I obviously like going everywhere, and it is mad. When I toured Asia on my own, and you know, turning up in Taiwan, Korea, Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, played on the Great Wall of China, all these mad places, and you get there and you think, you're kind of skeptical, thinking, what's it going to be like? And you get there, and the crowds are mad for it, like really are mad for it. And you get there, and they've got all the old records and memorabilia and stuff, and you kind of really start to understand the worldwide impact that our music has had. And that is it in itself. Is like when you tell the people back home, it's really inspiring, and makes everyone else want to get involved. Absolutely.
Going back, you know, to the beginning of your career, the early stages, you know, being from Hornchurch in Essex, I remember I used to come out to Romford to Boogie Times Records and get a bit of a flavour of what was going on. Did you ever imagine or envisage you'd be sitting here today receiving an Ambassador of Bass Music Award and talking about, you know, the major success?
No, I didn't. I mean, coming from, you know, the first time I ever got exposed to the music was in a barn in Essex,
What was she doing in a barn?
13 years of age. Yeah, I know that sounds a bit wrong, doesn't it? But no, it was an illegal rave. I can say that now because I'm sure time's passed. But basically, my sister got us tickets, me and my best friend James, and she got us tickets, £5 each, to a engagement party.
Nice.
But it was basically a rave in a barn in Stubbers Lane in Essex, and going out that night and hearing a guy called Gerald Voodoo Ray, Know How, all the old R&S classic tunes, and just that was the start of it.
I need to
be
involved.
It was thriving because we're fortunate to be at the end of the London Underground, so we're on the District line, so people could go into town. And when the scene was exploding in town, my sister was going there. She's 5 years older than me, and Sarah, and she was going out, and she was coming back with, and I just younger brother wanted to basically be part of her world.
Yeah.
And so she's bringing, she's getting tapes, and I'm listening to Pirate Radio. And we used to have the radio, used to be on 24/7 back then, which it went through a period, and now it is, of course, because of the internet and stuff, but it went through a period of not being. But back then, Centre Force and Sunrise, and I used to get up for school and basically have it on and then go to school and then be on break and lunch break and have my, Walkman
the headphones in the blazer.
Exactly, in the English lessons with I shouldn't say that because everyone does say But we was near to London. We was near to the epicenter of it, and like you say, Boogie Times Records.
Yeah.
I would finish school, get on my BMX, ride to Romford, and basically just harass them and hang out for hours until the point where they gave me a job in there on a Saturday to mix records. I still spent my wages on records.
Is that where you kind of became, because still to this day you're known for your legendary mixing ability? Like even DJs like myself, you were like a blueprint, like the mixing ability, and the fact that you wouldn't just mix a record in and out, you would hold a mix, you were doing bassline mixes and stuff that's really technical, really tricky to get right, especially with certain tunes.
Sure.
Was it those times in Boogie Times that you kind of were really honing your skills?
Well, I used to practice like mad at home, but then I guess I guess they was my first gigs, really, because on a Saturday, back in them days, the record shops were a real community vibe. So on a Saturday, we could have a few hundred people in and around the store. It would be packed. I remember that, the first day that Urban Shakedown, Some Justice came in, and we must have sold 200 copies in an hour and something, crazy stuff.
It really
like that.
was like
the
a proper
flyers in the front of the shop, and everybody would be meeting up to go to the raves, and we'd be selling, and I would be, Winston and Danny would be there mixing fundamentally, but when I managed to get my
little slot,
so I guess they was the first gigs and the first pressurised situation, because in a rave I've got a little bit of a stage as a buffer zone. In there,
everyone's right in front of you. Yeah.
So that was that definitely helped out. It was a good experience.
And since then, we can skip across a lot of the bookings and raves and club nights that you've done. Signed some of the most incredible artists, like you said, the likes of Sub Focus, Wilkinson, Chase the Status. What would you say is keeping this scene thriving and keeping it so? Because I feel like there was a time when the genres were definitely kept very separate. There was drum and bass, there was dubstep, there was electronic house. So all the different music will kind of keep it separate. Now it feels like there's so much fusion going on.
It was very tribal in a sense that everybody had their corner and they knew what they liked.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to get involved in anybody else's music. But it's time and experience, and gone are the days where I have to explain to people what drum and bass is. People know what drum and bass is, and I think obviously with the online world that we've been living in this decade has enabled musics to mushroom and grow very, very quickly. So people know what they like. They like a bit of everything. They want to go out and experience a bit of everything. And the musics, they do cross because they take influence from one another.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you listen to one genre, you can get where that resonates with the other genre. Yeah. And so if you're looking at a festival lineup where each DJ's playing for an hour or so, you're going to have a good night, and you're going to have a bit of everything, And I think producers that have stepped outside the box, like the likes of, Will and Saul, Chase and Status, when they brought Eastern Jam to us, Christmas Ram Party down at the end, which is a D&B night through and through, and they stood outside the club and they're like, yeah, we just come out of the studio, we've got this Eastern Jams. It's not drum and bass. They're like, what do you reckon?
Well, you can't play it here,
mate. Like, what do you reckon? And I remember standing there and I was like, you know, I know you're going to play it.
Yeah.
Go for it. 3 rewinds, first tune of the set. And right there, you can tell where people are, you know what, just as long as it's a slamming tune and it's good music,
people are up for it.
That's all that matters, right?
That is all that matters. Now, let's talk a bit about moving forward into 2014, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot on Andy C's plate. There's a lot happening. There's probably going to be even more happening next year.
We've had a brilliant year. You know, it's been a brilliant run. We just got the Nightlife albums just come out this week and really blown up, and it's been a fantastic experience doing that and seeing the feedback. And I've managed to get a few tunes done as well. I've been doing some remixes.
Workout is doing the rounds at the minute. That's causing problems. I've been playing that in my sets.
As a producer, you're always very it's very personal, you know, and you're afraid almost to play people tunes. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
So now you can kind of send stuff out in the hope, you know.
Yeah.
And the next day you might get a few emails back, but like people liked it. Cool, I'm happy, man.
I think you, by now you should be sort of expecting people to like stuff that you send out.
You can never be too confident, can you? Because musical tastes vary massively. So
that's very true.
You know, I remember back in the day when we did Valley of the Shadows, myself and Ant really liked that, but at the time everybody liked the other side because it was more relevant.
Wow.
Exactly.
And now look.
That tune changed. So you can never tell. But yeah, I've been really, you know, happy with the response to that, and also it's given me confidence, you know. And I'm in the studio, really am back in the studio big time on the producing front. I'm off to Oz in a couple of weeks to do Stereosonic tour. So I've just ordered brand new laptop, big keyboard. That's going in the luggage. The laptop's going in the backpack, and I'm gonna, you know,
The studio's coming to Australia.
I hope it rains over there because it's their summer, isn't it? But the idea, at least, is anyway to get and be doing some tunes, and then moving into the new year. The idea is definitely to explore the producing angle a hell of a lot more, because there's so many ideas, and you know, when you're on the road or you're on the planes or you're on the trains and whatnot, you think of thousands.
Get the laptop out, tunes. Put it down.
Exactly. And now's the time, man. I'm gonna get right on it.